Climate change is here, but we're running out of time. According to the IPCC's recent report, we have to stay below 1.5 degrees Celsius in order to avoid even more disastrous weather events and an inhospitable future on this planet. Food and water shortages, fires and drought, mass migration, the list goes on. It's not a future we can accept. But we're heading in the wrong direction. In fact, we're set to increase by 16% in emissions between now and 2030. That's the opposite of the 7.5% decrease every year that we need. However, possibly thanks to COVID-19, the world now understands that climate change is intimately linked to human inequalities. It's the poorest people on Earth who will suffer the most. Food and water shortages won't hit the West first. They will hit parts of Africa and Asia, and long before we've managed to ensure mitigation strategies are in place. Sadly, government is not mobilizing quickly enough. While many nations are moving towards renewable energies, few are addressing the broad range of threats posed by climate change and the degradation we've caused to our natural environment. The only people that can make real change on the ground are the people themselves. We need to help them get organized and funded to understand which changes and solutions will be the most powerful to reduce their local emissions through carbon sinks and restoring biodiversity. And where it can be done efficiently, using direct carbon capture and storage, we need to launch local circular economies, and we need to do it now. It's hard to believe that we already know how to mitigate and reduce climate change. We have all the solutions and technologies at hand now. What we don't have is a viable plan to scale these solutions on a global basis. In the absence of decisive and aggressive government action, we need local programs to deploy solutions on the ground and track progress at a macro level. We need to scale climate solutions, and we need local populations to deploy these solutions with our guidance and measurement system so that we can understand what's working and what's not. Given the funding to transform for climate recovery and sustainability, local communities will take action. A global NGO is the right vehicle to mobilize private and corporate wealth to empower local communities to make the necessary changes. With the guidance to deploy these solutions, we can begin to track and accelerate the path to a sustainable life on the planet. Using a host of global climate action networks to partner with local climate champions, we can deploy highest impact solutions first and work with these champions to gradually introduce a suite of solutions, slowly creating a circular economy and collectively bringing down emissions, creating local happiness and equality. If we access the global community by enabling local champions to deploy climate solutions piece by piece, we'll assemble the global climate army and we'll start to solve the puzzle of climate change and sustainable life for all, humans and nature alike. A global climate army is ready to assemble. A massive social media network of people from all around the world is motivated and ready to help. An example of which is Space Hero, a new reality series and our partner who will launch a global recruitment campaign with their space agency partnerships in 60 countries, challenging citizens of the world to develop a local climate action plan, become an Earth hero to win a chance at becoming a space hero, and competing on the show for a trip to space. Demonstrate that your solution will draw down equal to or greater than the emissions generated from a trip to space. When you empower and fund a community to make one significant system change, you now have your partnership to jumpstart the local circular economy and are set to launch your suite of climate solutions. Demonstrating success will have a compound effect and results begin to be measurable. A little bit about Alchemy AI and the genesis of the Foundation for Planetary Intelligence. Alchemy began developing AI-driven climate solutions in 2018 with a project with the Indian government to measure and predict impact of cleanup investments in the Ganges River. Building river smarts, we started to wonder if we could be predicting a 25% improvement in the purity of the water that is a source of life for 650 million people, what would that improvement mean for the health of that population? What if we scaled it to other major rivers around the world? What would the impact to the health of the global population be? Our second project, called Land Smarts, was addressing polluted land. With a global remediation market of $136 billion, that industry needed to find a way to move a lot faster than human engineers were able to do. So we've been working on an AI-driven automation system that uses autonomous vehicles to speed up and scale the process. Our third solution goes right to the heart of the dilemma: people. Human consumption is the root cause of climate change. The way we eat, move around, go through our daily lives, and the resources required to fuel that way of life. So we've teamed up with an ambitious developer of sustainable cities called Key Cities, and their team of partners, including Siemens and Volkswagen, to develop the sustainability algorithm, a solution called People Smarts that helps find and optimize the sustainable balance between human consumption and the natural resources required to satisfy human daily needs. Alchemy AI will manage the human side of the equation, and a clever new partner called Victoria AI will handle the monitoring of local biodiversity. We instinctively knew that these solutions would have a significant local impact on carbon drawdown. Healthy land, healthy water means carbon drawdown. But that doesn't help much at a macro level unless we see them scaled on a global basis. And only with that scale will we see their impact on progress towards a more healthy and sustainable planet. New solutions addressing climate change and sustainability are being developed at an increasing rate. We have a wealth of technological and social solutions available. However, these innovations are happening in silos. They need to be shared in an online marketplace and scaled globally, consistently, and repeatedly based on best practice and best outcomes. And with a system powered by artificial intelligence, each deployment gets smarter and more efficient than the last. This model will scale. We understood that what's missing is a platform or app store to host and track proven solutions and make them globally available for deployment. We need to share, consolidate, and track what's already working around the world so we can measure, predict, and accelerate progress. A collaborative platform to help us figure out how all the pieces of the eco-puzzle fit together so we can speed up the path to climate recovery and sustainability. Introducing the Planetary Intelligence System. It works like an app store for data-driven eco-solutions. The PI measures and predicts the environmental impact of climate solutions and helps us learn what combination of technologies and nature-based solutions has the right impact in specific geographies and local contexts. The PI then recommends these best practices to similar environmental contexts around the world. Now, the key to scaling these solutions is measuring and demonstrating their impact against human quality of life and improvement of the Earth's systems. We're already nearing the tipping points of the planet's natural boundaries. The PI measures macro-environmental impact of collective climate solutions, which helps us understand progress and which solutions are having a real impact. But sustainable progress at a planetary level is not possible unless humans are able to meet their resource needs. The UN 17 Sustainability Goals gives us the definition of success. The PI measures climate solutions against each of these goals. We use an updated version of Maslow's hierarchy of needs as a measurement guideline to ensuring the needs are being met in a sustainable way. All of these guiding principles have been elegantly assembled in one key model, which we use to measure efficiency of climate solutions. It's called the donut economy. This was the exact model that was used by the UN and government negotiators, put up on the whiteboard to guide the negotiations of the 2015 Paris Accord, a model that outlines the safe and just space for human existence, which is in balance with the natural world. All of these measurement filters guide the PI's recommendations engine for the right suite of climate solutions at the local level. Every environment and community is different, and it's the people living there who understand what their small piece of the planet needs. We've done enough research to know what to do. We have enough global capital to scale high-impact climate solutions. Now we need the engine that powers our ground-up transformation, but there's no time to hesitate. Support the PI's development now and choose the area of the planet you want to see restored. We'll help determine the right mix of solutions that will see that restoration through to a healthy environment and sustainable future for all: people, flora, fauna, and planet.